Be me, 38, sociology professor at historically black college in Atlanta, PhD from Columbia, published author on intersectional feminism. Been teaching for 8 years, respected in academic circles. Known on campus and in the community as outspoken black feminist. Always posting on social media about black women's issues. About how black men have failed black women. About toxic masculinity in the black community. About how we need to divest from black men completely. Have a decent following online, mostly black women who agree. We call out the problems constantly, hold black men accountable. For not protecting us, not providing, not choosing us. For dating outside the race, for being colorist. For perpetuating patriarchy within our own community. Single for past 5 years, haven't had serious relationship. Tell myself it's because black men can't handle strong women. Because they're intimidated by educated, successful sisters. Because they prefer white women or more submissive types. That's the narrative I've built, what I believe. This weekend is the annual community Juneteenth celebration. Big event in our neighborhood, everyone comes out. Black-owned businesses, local artists, community organizations. Food, music, kids playing, families together. I'm there representing the college, manning a booth. Handing out information about our programs. Throughout the day, notice something I've been ignoring. Black men in the community actively avoiding me. When I try to engage them about the college, they're polite but brief. When I walk by groups of men, conversation stops. When I try to join community discussions, men find reasons to leave. At first tell myself they're just intimidated or busy, but the pattern becomes undeniable as day goes on. See my colleague Marcus, also a professor, talking with a group of men. They're laughing, engaged, clearly comfortable with him. I walk over to join the conversation. The energy immediately shifts. Men get quieter. One by one, they make excuses and drift away. Within minutes, it's just me and Marcus standing there. What was that about? I ask him. He looks uncomfortable. What do you mean? They all left when I walked up, like I had the plague. Marcus shifts his weight, clearly doesn't want to answer. Come on, Marcus, we're colleagues, be honest. He debates internally, then decides to tell me. You have a reputation in the community. What kind of reputation? The kind where brothers know to keep their distance. Feel defensive immediately. What's that supposed to mean? Look, I don't want to get into this here. No. Tell me, I want to understand. He sighs, looking around to make sure no one's listening. You're known as the sister who hates black men, who blames us for everything, who thinks we're all trash. So most brothers just avoid you entirely. The accusation is absurd, offensive. I don't hate black men. I critique problematic behavior. That's holding y'all accountable for real issues. Marcus nods slowly. That's how you see it. But from the outside, it looks like constant attacks. Like nothing we do is ever good enough. Like we're the enemy, not your partners in the struggle. Want to argue, but he's already walking away. I need to get back to my booth, think about what I said. Spend rest of the day watching the dynamics. Really observing how people interact with each other. Black men and women talking, laughing, connecting. Families together, couples holding hands, community bonding. But I'm standing alone at my booth, isolated. People take pamphlets, but don't engage with me personally. Women are friendly but brief. Men avoid me completely. By the end of the day, feeling more alone than ever. Evening event is at the community center, live music and dancing. Decide to go, try to be more social, more open. Maybe Marcus was wrong. Maybe I'm just in my head. Walk into the center, music is playing, people are dancing. Find a seat at the bar, order a drink. Group of women I vaguely know are sitting nearby. They're laughing, talking about their relationships. One is complaining about her husband leaving socks everywhere. Another is teasing her about her man's cooking. They're laughing with affection, not malice. I walk over, try to join the conversation. Girl, men are trash, right? I say, trying to relate. The energy shifts immediately, awkward silence. One woman, Lisa, looks at me carefully. My husband's not trash, he's a good man. He works hard, takes care of his family. Another woman, Keisha, adds, same with my man. Yeah, he has flaws, but he's my partner. I love him. Feel defensive, trying to backtrack. I'm not saying your men specifically, just in general. Black men as a whole have a lot of problematic behaviors. The women exchange glances, clearly uncomfortable. I mean, all men have issues, Lisa says diplomatically. But our black men deal with a lot too. Racism, police brutality, systemic discrimination. They're out here fighting just like we are. Never thought about it that way. Always focused on what they do wrong. Keisha speaks up, voice firmer now. My man has been pulled over 6 times this year. For driving while black, for fitting a description, he comes home stressed, scared, exhausted. Last thing he needs is me telling him he's trash. The other women nod in agreement. We're supposed to be building each other up, Lisa says. Not tearing each other down, not on social media, not in front of the white folks, not anywhere. They're looking at me with something like disappointment. We've seen your posts, Keisha says quietly, about how black men ain't shit, how we should divest, how they don't protect us, don't provide, don't choose us. Feel exposed, didn't realize community was watching. I'm just speaking truth about real issues. Lisa shakes her head. You're speaking your pain and making it seem like that's every black man's reality. You're hurting the community with that narrative. The conversation ends awkwardly. They drift away, leaving me alone at the bar, drink in hand. Rest of the night, I watch and observe. Couples dancing together, supporting each other. Men being affectionate with their women, protective, present. Women being soft with their men, encouraging, loving. The dynamic I've been criticizing is actually working for them. They seem happy, connected, building together. While I'm sitting alone, bitter, isolated from community. Later that night, scrolling through my own social media, really reading my posts with fresh eyes. Posts about black men dating white women, calling them traitors. Posts about black men being broke, calling them dusties. Posts about black men's toxic masculinity, calling them dangers. Posts about divesting from black men entirely. Hundreds of posts over the years, all negative. All focused on what black men do wrong. Never what they do right. Never their struggles. Never their humanity, just their failures. Look at the comments, my followers eating it up. Yes, sis, tell them. Black men are trash. We deserve better. An echo chamber of anger and disappointment. Of hurt black women tearing down hurt black men. Instead of healing together. Next morning, Sunday, decide to go to church. Haven't been in months, but need something. Need perspective. Need community. Need something beyond my anger. Walk into the church where I grew up, my grandmother's church. See familiar faces, people who knew me as a child. The pastor is Brother Williams, been there 30 years. His sermon today is about unity in the black community, about how we need each other to survive, about how division helps our oppressors, not us. The enemy wants us fighting each other, he preaches, wants black men and women divided and angry. Because together we're powerful, together we're unstoppable. But apart, we're vulnerable, we're weak. His words hit different today after yesterday's experiences. I see sisters online tearing down their brothers. I see brothers giving up on their sisters. I see us destroying each other while the system watches. And I weep for us. I weep for what we're losing. Feel tears starting, his words cutting through my defenses. Our men are struggling, yes. They have work to do, but they're also hurting, also under attack, also trying to survive in a world that wants them dead. And they need their sisters beside them, not against them. After service, Pastor Williams asks to speak with me. We sit in his office, just like when I was young. Sister, I've seen your posts online. I've heard people in the community talking about you. I wanted to speak with you about it. Feel defensive, but respect him too much to argue. What have you heard? That you've become bitter toward black men. That you speak against them publicly and constantly. That you've isolated yourself from your own community. The accusations hurt because they might be true. Pastor Williams, I'm just holding them accountable for the ways they've failed black women, For colorism, for dating out, for not protecting us. He nods thoughtfully. Those are real issues. But how you address them matters. Public humiliation doesn't heal, it hardens. Constant criticism doesn't motivate, it destroys. He leans forward, speaking with gentle firmness. Tell me about your father. The question catches me off guard. What about him? He left when you were 8, didn't he? Never paid child support, barely stayed in contact. The old wound, the source of so much pain. Yes, he left, he failed us. And you've been punishing all black men for his failure ever since. The truth of it breaks something open in me. Your father was one man, with his own demons, his own struggles. But you've made his failure represent all black men. Made your pain into a weapon against your own people. Tears are flowing now, can't hold them back. They keep proving him right, though. The men I've dated, the men I've known. They all leave, they all disappoint, they all fail. Pastor Williams hands me tissues, waits patiently. Or maybe you choose men who will fail you. To confirm what you already believe. That black men are unreliable, unworthy, untrustworthy. Never considered that possibility. And maybe you push away good men. By assuming the worst, by attacking preemptively, by making them prove they're not like your father. He's right, deeply uncomfortably right. Sister, I've known you since you were a child. I baptized you, I watched you grow. You were such a sweet girl, so full of love. What happened to that girl? The question breaks me completely. She learned that black men leave. That they can't be trusted, can't be relied on. That loving them means getting hurt. Pastor Williams speaks gently but firmly. So you decided to hurt them first. To reject them before they could reject you. To tear them down before they could let you down. But sister, that's not protection, that's prison. We sit in silence while I cry. Crying for my father, for my pain, for my loneliness. Crying for the men I've hurt with my words. Crying for the community I've alienated. What do I do now? I finally ask. How do I fix this? How do I change? You start by healing yourself, your own wounds. Then you start building instead of destroying. Supporting instead of attacking. Loving your community instead of leaving it. Leave church that day with a lot to think about. Drive through my neighborhood, really looking at it. See black fathers playing with their children in parks. See black men working, providing, being present. See black couples walking together, holding hands. See black men at the barber shop, at the gym, at the store. Living their lives, trying their best, being human. Not the monsters I've made them out to be online. Not the failures I've described in my posts. Just men, flawed and struggling, but trying. Monday morning, meet with Marcus for coffee. Told him I wanted to talk about what he said. He's cautious, but agrees to be honest. Tell me the truth about my reputation. Not the polite version, the real truth. He takes a deep breath, deciding how honest to be. All right, you want the truth. In the community, you're known as the man-hater. The feminist who thinks black men are the enemy. Brothers literally warn each other to avoid you. Feel sick hearing it, but need to know. What do they say specifically? That you blame black men for everything. That you never acknowledge what we go through. That you post disrespectful things about us online. That you tell black women to divest from us. Each statement is like a punch. I'm just speaking on real issues in our community. Marcus nods. Maybe, but how you speak matters. You ever notice you only talk about what black men do wrong? Never what we do right, never what we face. Never the system that's literally designed to destroy us. He's getting emotional now, voice rising. I have a son, he's 16 years old. Every day I'm scared he won't come home. Scared he'll get shot by police, by gangs, by accident. Scared he'll end up in prison like so many of our boys. Never thought about his reality, his fear. I'm teaching him to survive in a world that hates him. Teaching him to be strong, to be careful, to be smart. And then he goes online and sees sisters like you, calling black men trash, calling us the problem, telling black women to give up on us. Marcus is crying now, not bothering to hide it. How's my son supposed to grow up with any self-worth When successful black women are telling the world he's worthless, how's he supposed to believe he can be a good man? When educated sisters are saying black men can't be good, his pain is palpable, his fear is real. Marcus, I never thought about it that way. I know you didn't, that's the problem. You're so focused on your pain, your disappointment, that you can't see ours, can't feel what we carry. We sit in heavy silence for long minutes. I'm sorry, I finally say, meaning it. I'm sorry for contributing to that narrative, for making black men into villains, for not seeing your humanity. He accepts the apology, but the damage is done. What would help? What would be different? He thinks about it carefully. Speak about us with the same compassion you want from us. Acknowledge our struggles like you want yours acknowledged. See us as partners in the fight, not enemies in it. Remember, we're fighting the same system that oppresses you. Everything he's saying makes sense, but it means examining years of anger and pain. It means questioning the narrative I've built my identity around. Spend the next few weeks really doing the work. Going to therapy, examining my father wounds. Reading about black men's struggles, their reality. Listening to black men speak about their experiences. What I learn is devastating and enlightening. Black men are murdered by police at alarming rates. Black boys are suspended and expelled at higher rates. Black men are incarcerated at unprecedented rates. Black men face discrimination in every system. And while they're dealing with all of that, successful black women like me are calling them trash online, telling the world they're not worth choosing, teaching young black women to divest from black men. No wonder they avoid me completely. No wonder the community has turned away. I've been attacking men who are already under attack, kicking them while they're down and calling it feminism. Start slowly changing my social media presence. Delete the most hateful posts about black men. Start posting about community building instead, about supporting black men while holding them accountable, about partnership instead of division. The response is mixed. Some followers are angry. You're selling out. You're coddling black men. They don't deserve our compassion. Stay strong, sis. But some women reach out privately, grateful. I've been thinking the same thing, but scared to say it. I love black men, but felt wrong for saying so. Thank you for starting this conversation. Go back to the community center for next event. Prepared for the same avoidance and distance. But something is slightly different this time. A few men nod at me, acknowledge my presence. Lisa from the Juneteenth party actually smiles at me. Small shifts, but meaningful ones. See Marcus across the room, talking with his son. The 16-year-old he told me about, handsome young man. Walk over, nervous about the interaction. He Marcus, he young brother, I'm Professor Hars. The boy is polite, respectful. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Marcus is watching me carefully, protectively. Your dad tells me you're a good student. Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get into Morehouse. See the hope in his eyes, the potential. This is someone's son, someone's future. Not trash, not a problem to solve. Just a kid with dreams. That's wonderful. We need more brothers in college. Keep working hard. The community needs young men like you. The boy lights up, clearly not used to encouragement from women like me. Marcus catches my eye, nods slightly, appreciates the effort. After they leave, Keisha approaches me. I saw you talking to Marcus's son. That was good. That meant something. Didn't realize people were watching. I'm trying to do better, be better. We can see that the community can feel it. Just keep going, keep showing up. Over the next months, slowly rebuild my presence. At community events, at church, in the neighborhood. Not as the militant feminist who hates black men, but as a sister who's learning to love her community, who's learning to see black men as humans, as partners in struggle, not enemies in it. Still speak on real issues, still hold people accountable, but with compassion now, with understanding, with recognition that we're all fighting the same system, that black men's struggles don't negate black women's, that we can both be right, both be hurting, both be in need of healing and support. 1 year after that Juneteenth conversation with Marcus, at the next annual celebration, back in my booth. But this time, people stopped to actually talk. Men engage with me about the college programs. Women introduce me to their husbands and sons. Feel like part of the community instead of apart from it. See Pastor Williams walking by with his grandson. Sister Harris, good to see you out here. Good to be here, Pastor. Good to be included. He smiles knowingly. You included yourself. By changing your heart, by healing your wounds, by choosing community over division. His grandson is maybe 8 years old, looking up at me. Are you the professor at the college? Yes, baby, I teach there. Cool. I want to go to college when I grow up. Look at this innocent child, full of hope and potential. This is what my words could have destroyed. This black boy's belief that he could be something, that he was worth something, that he mattered. You can do anything you set your mind to. Don't let anyone tell you different. Pastor Williams beams. That's what he needs to hear. From sisters like you, from his whole community. Later that evening, sitting with the women from last year. Lisa, Keisha, and a few others, laughing together. They've slowly welcomed me back into the circle. Not all the way yet, but I'm earning it. Your posts have been different lately, Lisa says. More about building up than tearing down. Keisha adds, my husband actually follows you now. Says you're talking sense finally. Feel grateful and humble. I was hurting the community with my anger, using my pain as a weapon against my own people. The women nod, they understand. We've all been hurt by black men, Lisa says. But we've also been loved by black men. Our fathers, our brothers, our sons, our partners. They're not perfect, but they're ours. Keisha agrees, and they need us to see them. To really see them, not just their failures. To love them through their struggles. Like we want them to love us through ours. We sit together watching the celebration. Black families enjoying Juneteenth together. Black men and women building community. Black children growing up surrounded by love. This is what I almost left behind. What I almost destroyed with my bitterness. Marcus walks over, his son with him again. Professor Harris, my son wanted to ask you something. The boy looks nervous but determined. Ma'am, could I interview you for my college essay? About black feminism and community building. Feel honored and humbled. Of course, I'd be happy to help. Marcus smiles. Trust me with his son now. That trust means more than any academic achievement. Means I'm becoming part of the community again. Part of the solution instead of the problem. TFW black men in your community completely avoid you. TFW, you realize you have reputation as man-hater. TFW, your social media is all attacks on black men. TFW, you're told you speak about them with no compassion. TFW, you learn black men struggle with systems designed to destroy them. TFW, you've been attacking men who are already under attack. TFW, your father wounds made you hate all black men. TFW, you isolated yourself from your own community. TFW, changing your approach slowly rebuilds trust. TFW community welcomes you back as you heal. Still believe in black feminism and women's liberation. Still speak on colorism, misogyny, and real issues. Still hold black men accountable when necessary. But now do it with love and understanding, with recognition that we're in this together, that black men's struggles are part of our struggle, that we need each other to survive and thrive. That division helps our oppressors, not us. Pastor Williams was right about everything. I was making my father's failure represent all black men, was punishing the community for one man's pain, was destroying instead of building. The black men who avoided me weren't intimidated. They were protecting themselves from my attacks. They were tired of being made into villains. They were surviving in a world that already hates them, didn't need me adding to their burden. Now I use my platform differently, to build bridges instead of burning them, to support black men while still holding them accountable, to speak about our community with love, even when calling out problems. The community has slowly welcomed me back, not because I stopped being feminist, but because I stopped being hateful, stopped making black men my enemy, started seeing them as my brothers in struggle. That's what 38 years and a lot of healing taught me, that my anger was hurting my own community, that my pain was perpetuating our oppression, that my feminism was dividing us when we needed unity. Black men in my community don't avoid me anymore. They engage, they support, they partner with me, because I finally learned to see their humanity, to honor their struggles alongside my own, to love my community instead of leaving it. That's what matters at the end of the day. Not being right, but building together. Not winning arguments, but creating community. Not nursing wounds, but healing them, so we can all survive and thrive. In a world that wants us divided and conquered, together we're stronger. That's what I finally understand. That's what the community tried to teach me, what I was too bitter to hear. Until isolation forced me to listen. Better late than never. Better building than destroying. Better love than hate. That's what I choose now. What my community chose to teach me. By avoiding me until I learned. By welcoming me back when I grew. By never giving up on me, even when I gave up on them. That's Black love right there. That's community right there. That's what I almost lost. What I'm grateful to have back. At 38, finally understanding. What the elders tried to tell me. What Pastor Williams preached. What Marcus showed me. What my community embodied. That we need each other. All of us, men and women. Brothers and sisters. Fighting together. Building together. Loving together. That's how we survive. That's how we thrive. That's how we win. Not divided and angry, but united and strong. That's the lesson I learned. The hard way, the painful way. But I learned it finally. And my community is better for it. And so am I.